How's it going this week in Airsoft? It's Dark Horse, or Javier Dark Horse. I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about gear. We're going to start and kick off our series that we like to call "Let's Talk Gear" or "Let's Talk About Gear." It's just kind of an understanding of every piece of little equipment and a lot of different levels of what you might or might not use. There's a lot of misconception out there. There's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of opinions out there about what makes the correct gear. There's the guys that tell you, you need your gunfighter look. There's the guys that live in the impressionist world. There are those that just, what can I afford? And for a lot of people, airsoft and gear can take different levels in different directions. I want to discuss a lot of those. This first video, we're gonna kind of do an overview, and we're gonna talk about little key points and understanding what a good loadout works for you. And there's a lot of, like I said, there's a disconnect in between what we call SF, let's say, because that's the most popular, the operator look, the most popular concept of a look, disconnected from what is actually an operator look. We have these people that are telling us all the time that, oh, this exact gear, this exact plate, this exact helmet, or this model is what they're using out there, and these gloves are, and that's just completely false. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. That it's completely false for us to go, for anybody to say that this is exactly what the guys are using. So let's go ahead and talk in a little more detail about what I mean when I talk about gear. Right here, what you guys see here is we've managed to lay out a lot of different things that we have. Some that we begged, borrowed, or stealed, some for sale, stuff like that. So you see some stuff that'll have tags, especially when we look at some of the best designs and options for you to look at. Let's start what we got here. Specifically on the right side, we have got helmets to discuss for you guys to look at. We've got a couple gloves, and gloves is a real important subject that I like to talk about, especially when it comes to people talking and reviewing them. It's sketchy. A nice wide variety of optics for you guys to choose from and play with and look for them. And then we've got all these nice goggle options to play with and think about. All right. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of different type of gear here and a lot of different pieces of equipment. And then the question becomes, what's the right piece of equipment to choose? What is the ideal piece of equipment? What makes the operator look, or what makes the gunfighter look that a lot of guys nowadays are looking for? This ultra modern look and the latest and greatest on the edge of battlefield technology that everybody thinks about. So, and the best answer and the most realistic answer, honestly, is there is no right answer. There is no exact perfect loadout. There is no what fits in the description in the box that is special forces or special operations or gunfighters or SWAT teams or DEA fast teams or all those other specialized teams that guys work really hard to mimic and do. That's why impressions are that is the impression on your mind of what something is, or what a loadout is, and what a look is. In reality, to tell you the truth, you can come across operators in real life in combat, and I remember this from my experiences in Iraq and my time in the Army too. If you Google photos, honestly, nowadays of special forces in training or in action, you will see that you can come across a team that's wearing all three different types of helmets. One team wearing three different types. You can come across an entire team using 3-4 different types of optics, all depending on each one. You can come across them using different sidearms depending on how their team is issued. Same thing with goggles and gloves, and all of these things can be completely different. You can even find loadouts and vests different amongst an individual team. And what does that say? What should that say to all of us? And what does that say to the community in general that's, wanting to get that look and that appearance and that same, guidelines? Is that mission dictates everything for these guys. I can say a lot of times an operator or a soldier is going to get up before a mission. He's going to be like, we're going to be doing this, this, and this. Well, this part of my gear needs to be changed, or I can't wear this, or I can't use that. There's no template that works for every single operations and everything they're doing. So it's easy for one day to be wearing a full vest, a full vest, plate carrier, plates back and front, and then it's easy for them the next day to be like, look, I'm on a reconnaissance mission, I need to be light, low drag, and I'm carrying just a chest rig, no back to it, and no heavy hydration, and no helmet because I'm rocking a booty. So these are the things that I think we all want to take into consideration when choosing our loadouts, and take into consideration how our gameplay goes. Because the practicality of the soldier does not have to be lost, and shouldn't be lost in the practicality of airsoft. And when it comes to making our decisions in that sense. So when you're out there every day figuring out and looking at your gameplay, think about it this way: it's 100 and some degrees outside. I'm playing out, in a scorcher of a temperature. Do I really need to be wearing a full vest, with a full helmet, or maybe would it be a better idea to be wearing just a rack, a camelback, and a boonie hat? I'm going out into the woods, and it's really thick foliage and all that. Do I need a full vest that covers all the way around, and is bulky and heavy all the time? Or I'm playing in an urban environment, I'm going to be playing 24-hour continuous. Oh, should I carry my 6 mags, or should I carry 8-10 bags? You should always be thinking that way. The war fighter and the soldier and the men that a lot of people do when they're doing impressions and are mimicking out there and modeling in their gear design, are making these decisions. They're making these thoughts, and they're going through these thought processes. So look at your gear first of all. Say to yourself, what works for me? Let's forget what you've seen in your YouTubes. Let's forget what you've seen in your impressions. I know that guy spent a lot of good money on his gear. It looks really cool, but then at the end of the day, how tactical and how effective and combat effective is he? Because if he's not combat effective, it doesn't matter how cool that all looks. Now, at the same time, we can't knock somebody wearing a lot of gear when we don't understand the thought process behind it. Maybe his mission dictates. A mission will dictate, if you're going to an event like Pine Plains, that you need to be able to operate with everything you need almost to go at all times, and you don't have time to refit your gear and go back, and you almost have to be self-sufficient and self-contained. That makes perfect sense. I'm going to go out and play 4 or 5 hours today. It doesn't make sense at that point. I will say the exception to the rule is the guys that have the philosophy, train as we fight. I respect that, and that's fine. But that does not define, that does not make a good operator. That does not make the best look. Sometimes less is actually much more realistic to what we're looking for. So when you're taking into consideration, and when you guys are thinking and planning out your gear, I want you to think mission first. In this series, as we talk about gear and we talk about more specific items, I want you to think mission first. Mission first. What is mission essential and what isn't mission essential? I'm going to be playing an hour today, so I don't need this extra crap. All right, I don't need that extra crap. I'm going to be playing 2 days continuous, or 2 days with short little breaks. I need to be self-sufficient. And then how do I wear that? So we'll discuss all of that kind of stuff. But the first thing I wanted to get out is that mission first governs and dictates and rules the universe of gear, and the look and the operator look, the image that we've been given and we've been told that's been portrayed on so many YouTube reviews and pages sometimes and channels is not the look that we want. We want a mission capable look and a mission capable loadout. All right, so we'll talk more about it in some other videos. This is Javier Dark Horse. I'll talk to you guys again soon.